Hello, Taurus. I'm Katie. Welcome to the channel. This is for Sun, Moon, and Rising, your love reading for June. As always, take what resonates you and leave what doesn't. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is pull a spirit animal card, one for you, kind of the energy that you're in, and one for your partner, okay? Now, I feel like typically these are like romantic partners, but sometimes they can be other types of relationships, okay? Only you know. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I have bee and turtle. Which one do you think you are? Okay, you are bee. You come to the table, to the relationship rather, super excited, super like busy energy. You're like always wanting to do things, go have adventures, and like you're really like just a little busy bee. But you're with a turtle and the turtle's really slow. For some of you, you get super frustrated just with how slow they are at even just making decisions. Heard that one loud and clear. So it's interesting because you guys are very different in the way that you approach life, in the way that you make decisions, in the way that you function, the way you work, all of that stuff. Again, fast pace, more slow pace, but you're very complementary to one another. So when, you know, your partner's needing motivation, you're able to give them that fairly easily, and they can come to you and be like, girl, you need to like slow down. Dude, you need to slow down. Don't be sexist here. So there's definitely, I'm feeling like this, there's definitely like a compliment, but at times it can be frustrating because you're wanting to move at 1,000,000 miles an hour and your partner's like, no, I'm just going to like sit here on my skateboard and just glide down the street and see what comes, okay? They definitely have like a very more like easygoing personality. I don't want to say you're type A, but you're a little more like structure and busy and, you know, like to get things done and like more orderly, okay? As far as it comes, like definitely like in the relationship here that way. I feel like you plan a lot of vacations and like they'll like suggest something that sounds great and then you do all the work to like make it happen, which could be frustrating. But you're good at doing work, so sometimes you just need to embrace it, but you also need to slow down and have a break, okay? Take care of yourself. Okay, so this is interesting. So right now, you guys are in a stage where there needs to be some sort of adaptability, of fluidity. For some reason, I'm feeling like it's like with choices that you make together. I don't know if some of you are like moving in together or starting a family or whatever, but like you need to kind of be fluid with this process, okay? Don't try to like push it or like bend it to your will. Like it needs to just be able to like kind of bend a little bit and see how like there's so much, sorry, my fingers are like, oh, I was helping a friend with some chicken wire situation, doesn't matter. But do you see how like there's magic here and there's magic here? Like when you're able to kind of be more adaptable and fluid with things, energy is just going to flow. Decisions are going to flow a lot better. I feel like the energy between you two is going to flow better. Maybe because I'm feeling like the other person sometimes can get frustrated with how quickly you move because it makes them feel like you think they're lazy or they're not doing much, which is not the case. Like I feel like this person can hunker down and get work done and they show up for you, which is important. They just, you know, function differently. Y'all get to the same outcome. It's just the pathway is a little different, okay? So there's definitely also like a balancing act that's occurring between you two. And I think that's because your guys' the way that you function and the energy that you bring to this relationship is so different. So there's definitely a balancing act. I feel like more so on you where you're constantly feeling like, well, I don't want to say this because I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want to make them feel a certain way. I don't want them to resent me, but I also need this to get done. For some chores around the house is a prime example that I'm like seeing right now that you kind of feel like you have to walk on eggshells a little bit, like when you're needing them to do stuff, or you feel like if you don't walk, if you're not like walking on eggshells, there's going to like a fight might ensue or something, right? There also needs to be some compassion again, I'm feeling a little bit like more like on your side of things, that you're to the turtle energy, to your partner, you are their home, you are their heart, you are their everything. Like, they adore you so much. Sometimes your energy can just be a lot. And so remember to just have a little bit of compassion for the fact that they just do things differently. It's not that it's wrong or right or one is better than the other. It's just that they do things differently. They do it in a way that feels right to them. But I definitely see that you guys have created a beautiful home together. I feel like the core of your relationship is really good. And so maybe lean into remembering that during these like frustrating moments that you have, that you truly are each other's home and each other's heart, okay? Let's get some more here. Okay. Okay. I just want one more. About a little Taurus. I need one more here. Thank you. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's funny. These colors kind of lined up. Okay. So I'm feeling like when you get into these moments where you're feeling like they're literally functioning at like a tortoise pace, you need to distract yourself. You need to dive deep into a passion, into a project, or something that keeps you busy. You can't expect this relationship to fulfill not the busyness. Like, what is it? Like, the relationship is never going to be this busy energy. It just isn't. It's not going to be that way. It's not going to be the energy in which you function in. So when you're feeling like there's, you're frustrated or there's like this lull, just dive deep into something that makes you happy. Work, a project, and know that like you still have so much love, right? There's still compassion here. It's just so that Turtle doesn't get so frustrated. Because you want to keep doing things. Like, it's okay to go for a hike on your own. It's okay to go out with your friends on your own. Like, you can do things like that so that when you come home to the person, you're still feeling like, oh, I'm glad I went and did that. And you're kind of releasing your energy in other avenues other than the relationship. I feel like that was a very clear way of saying that. So make sure that you're creating a lifestyle where you're getting this kind of fulfilled, right? Where you're doing other things outside of the relationship. Okay, so I feel like this is more the other person, your partner. Overflow, so overwhelm and plenty, is that what it is? Like, your partner is carrying a lot of emotional stuff. Like, see how, like, I feel like the places are kind of like crying almost. Like, there's a lot of energy, like pent-up energy. I think that could contribute a little bit to why their energy is more slow, because they have gone through a lot of things in their life and they want to live their life with kind of not caution, but like an awareness, and have intention behind what they do and clarity. And so they have slowed their energy down and themselves down so that they're able to see those things better. And that, I think maybe with you having that understanding of why they are more slow, because there's more intention there and more clarity. They want clarity in everything that they do, but it's because they've been through so much. I feel like a lot of, it's like, I hate saying emotional baggage, but that's what it feels like. I just felt like I put on like a huge backpack and it just is like kind of wearing me down. I feel like some of the turtles out there have like gone through and like really worked through this, and they're like emotionally good. They've worked with a therapist. They've done, I don't know, ayahuasca. They've had their spiritual experiences. They do breath work, whatever. Like, they've done whatever they need to do, and they're at a really good place where they're not as affected by all of this. But then there's some that it's still weighing very heavy. And for some reason, sometimes when you come in with this, like this busy energy that's really a lot of demands, like if you're, you come in after work or whatever and you're like, I need you to do the laundry. You didn't clean up, the bathroom. You didn't grab groceries. Like you didn't do da 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 da. That is triggering for them. That's taking them back to this headspace that has caused a lot of emotions for them. So it's not your responsibility to help them work through this, but I think it's important for you to have an understanding that that is triggering to them. So maybe only one thing at a time, only one ask at a time. At least I'm hearing for like the next little bit, okay? Like 6 months-ish, because they're just kind of working through this, okay? I feel like you want to be standing there by yourself, right? Like you want to be like cheering on and like, yes, we did this. But like, I feel like really this is something that you guys are overcoming together in a sense, the way that you're able to make this relationship work because it's so different. There's a lot of like passion between you two, which is great. Like you guys are definitely drawn to one another. And I think that you're bringing in a certain amount of, it almost feels like a subconscious, like wisdom almost. I don't know if you guys have had like a past life together, but it feels like there's just this energy of like an understanding and a knowing that, that like that this relationship is good, that you're meant to be together, that this can be a very successful relationship. One thing that I just heard though is remember that relationships are work. They're not, that was not your reading. I think that was Aries about being, I talked about like how rom-coms are like, I kind of hate rom-coms because they make us think that like relationships are supposed to be this certain way. You have a great understanding that like relationships take work, that you've got to, there's compromise in relationships, and you can bring that understanding and patience to your partner to kind of help them work through this a little bit, right? Again, you do not need to fix your partner. You do not need to unpack this for them. And for a lot of you, like I said, it's already been unpacked, so it's okay. But you definitely have a wisdom within you from life experience, that you're able to come to the table with a level of understanding that is very, again, nurturing. I think that's why this person feels so at home with you, because they find so much value in your opinion and your expertise, and even just like the way that you live your life is just very comforting to them. And so I think it's important that you know that and kind of just remember that as you're like dealing with this person, right? Okay. I feel like that's pretty good. I hope you liked your June reading, Taurus. I love you all so much. Please comment below because I love seeing what you guys have to say about these readings, and I hope to see you next time.